So that was a really exciting launch that we have there, the QR payment linkage between Indonesia and Singapore. But we have one more very exciting launch coming up. So this is round 2. Let's go. Once again, I'd like to welcome the Managing Director of the Monetary Authority of Singapore, Ravi Menon, and the Governor of Bank Negara, Malaysia, Abdul Rasheed Ghaffour, the High Commissioner of Malaysia to Singapore, His Excellency Datuk Dr. Azfar Mohamad, distinguished guests from Singapore, Malaysia, and all around the world, and ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the launch ceremony of the real-time payment systems linkage between Singapore's Pay Now and Malaysia's Do It Now. Now, the connectivity between Pay Now and Do It Now is a major milestone in the development of next-generation infrastructure for cross-border payments between Singapore and Malaysia. And this follows the QR payment linkage between the both countries that was launched in March this year. And the Pay Now, Do It Now linkage will provide customers of participating banks and non-bank financial institutions in Singapore and Malaysia with a speedy, safe, and fast and cost-effective way to transfer funds directly between bank accounts or e-wallets. And all you need is just the recipient's registered mobile address or a virtual payment address, or rather mobile number, registered mobile number, that's right. Again, there'll be 3 segments to this program. We will screen a video of the Pay Now, Do It Now linkage, and then we will have MD Ravi and Governor Rasheed to deliver their remarks, and then we will have MD Ravi and Governor Rasheed officiate the live cross-border funds transfer using the Pay Now, Do It Now linkage. So ladies and gentlemen, once again, may I draw your attentions to the screen for this opening video of the Pay Now, Do It Now linkage.
In the past, a barrier of high costs and slow processes stood in the way of transferring money between Singapore and Malaysia and vice versa. Sending money overseas used to be challenging, but now the barrier is gone. Overseas fund transfers can be done within seconds with the recipient's mobile number and virtual payment address. These transactions are swift, seamless, and secure. Introducing the collaboration between Pay Now for Singapore and Do It Now for Malaysia for easy cross-border fund transfers between residents in Singapore and Malaysia. These transfers happen in real time, offering ultimate convenience, transparency, and safety, as well as being cost-effective. When you transfer using Pay Now, select the recipient's mobile number from your contact book or enter it manually. You will be able to see the recipient's name, then key in the payment amount and verify the details before confirming to send. Make transactions anytime you want. Show your loved ones care without delay. When you transfer using Do It Now, select the recipient's mobile number from your contact book or enter the recipient's virtual payment address. You will be able to see the recipient's name, then key in the payment amount and verify the details before confirming to send. Make transactions anywhere you want. Fulfill your lifestyle needs. We are ready to offer this cross-border fund transfer service to you. It simply requires the recipient's mobile number or virtual payment address for verification. So skip the hassle of keying in recipient's name and lengthy bank account details. Pay Now, Do It Now, bringing the 2 countries closer together through seamless transactions every day.
I would now like to invite our distinguished guests, MD Ravi and Governor Rasheed, to join us on stage, please. Gentlemen. And I would first like to invite Governor Rasheed to deliver his remarks.
Good afternoon, everyone. I must say that the Governor Perry's speech is amazing. And I don't think so I can match that in any way. What you're about to hear is a boring remarks. by a central banker. Good afternoon. Esteemed colleagues from the Monetary Authority of Singapore, MD Ravi Menon, and MD Designate Chair De Jun, from Bank Indonesia, Governor Perry, His Excellency Datuk Dr. Azfar Mohamad, the High Commissioner of Malaysia to Singapore, His Excellency Suryo Pratomo, the Ambassador of the Republic of Indonesia to Singapore. Thank you, MD Ravi and the MAS, for having me here today. I'm truly honored to be here for the launch of the person-to-person Pay Now, Do It Now payment linkage between Malaysia and Singapore. This new link complements the cross-border QR code connectivity, which we launched earlier in March this year. And it's another testament to Malaysia and Singapore's shared vision to create seamless cross-border payment connectivity that will greatly benefit consumers and businesses on both sides of the causeway. Singapore and Malaysia share many ties, not just commerce, but of kinship and friendship. Singaporeans account for the largest share of inbound tourists visiting Malaysia. In fact, in 2019, we recorded more than 10 million visits from Singaporeans. And that means, MD Ravi, that pre-pandemic, Singaporeans visited Malaysia twice a year on average. And you're always welcome. Singapore is also Malaysia's second largest trading partner, with strong trade flows that have almost doubled over the last decade. This underscores the importance of enhancing and fortifying our connections. In my mind, the launch of today's linkage was never a question of should we. It was more of when can we. The Pay Now, Do It Now linkage is also another feather in the cap for ASEAN payment connectivity. With a fast-growing network of payment linkages for both P2P and QR payments within ASEAN, making cross-border payments more affordable, seamless, safe, and efficient, once aspirational, is now a reality. The benefits that ASEAN stands to reap from these linkages will be profound, from greater financial inclusion and economic dividends that we'll gain from it. For Malaysia, we are already seeing the benefits of our existing QR payment linkages, with notable transaction volumes of more than 130,000 transactions worth 13 million ringgit already coming out from Singapore. And of course, since Governor Perry is here today, also from Indonesia as well. Just 6 months after they were commercially launched. This could not have happened without the strong cooperation between our central banks and a willingness to take a pragmatic approach to pursue a regional ambition coupled with the strategic vision and leadership. Governor Perry mentioned about leadership just now, and it's very important, the leadership coming from MD Ravi, Governor Perry, and also the then Governor Shamsia. Allow me to also acknowledge the contributions of everyone involved in this project. In particular, the payment system operators, PayNet and BCS, as well as participating financial institutions from both Malaysia and Singapore for your commitment and hard work to make the Pay Now, Do It Now linkage a reality. Our aspirations for cross-border payments do not end here. With Project Nexus, the BRS Innovation Hub and ASEAN Central Bank partners, including Malaysia, they are working closely to develop a scalable multilateral model to expand payment linkages globally. And another one, with Project Mandala, we are also experimenting the use of smart contracts to streamline compliance procedures for cross-border payments. And beyond this, there are opportunities to explore other use cases for the linkages, like B2B payments, and using technologies such as DLT and CBDC to enhance back-end settlement processes for the existing linkages. In our efforts, the MAS, under the stewardship of MD Ravi, who has been a respectable and excellent partner to Bank Negara Malaysia, I would like to take this opportunity to thank you, MD Ravi, for your strong support, not just in manifesting these linkages, but for your role in strengthening the ties between our central banks and countries over the years. Your strong leadership, MD, has helped to foster increased collaboration within ASEAN towards achieving greater regional financial and economic integration. And this has propelled ASEAN into a thriving region that is what we are today, for collective prosperity and growth. We also look forward to our continued close partnership between Bank Negara Malaysia and the Monetary Authority of Singapore in the future, both in the payment space and beyond. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Governor Rasheed, for those heartfelt remarks. I would now like to invite MD Ravi to address us, please.
Thank you, everyone. Bank Negara Malaysia Governor Abdul Rasheed Ghaffour, High Commissioner of Malaysia to Singapore, His Excellency Datuk Dr. Azwar Mohammed Mustafa, distinguished guests, we're now witnessing part 2 of the growing linkages within ASEAN. We just saw QR code linkage between Singapore and Indonesia, and now we're going to see instant payments linkage between Singapore and Malaysia. I was wondering we should put a map of all the interlinkages that are growing on the QR front and on the instant payments front across ASEAN, the different bilateral linkages that are forming. It's a very thick spider web. And we want to now make this a multilateral framework, and we're working on this. So, really honored to have you, Governor Rasheed, to come here on stage. I understand you just came straight from Changi Airport, right through. It shows how closely connected we are. And in many ways, Singapore and Malaysia are close neighbors. You have a long-standing, intertwined relationship. We have common historical and cultural linkages. We have strong economic and trade linkages. We are each other's usually top trading partners consistently. But I think, as Governor Rasheed said, the real strength of the Singapore-Malaysia partnership is the people-to-people ties, what we call kith and friendships. And there are so many of us, and that's why we visit Malaysia twice a year. And these are the ties that our cross-border payment connectivity projects are looking to serve. Because this is a real connectivity, a people-to-people connection that payments connectivity can strengthen even more. For migrant workers who need a safe, fast, and cost-efficient way to remit their salaries back home to their families, this is a solution. This makes it easier. And there are many students in both our countries, Singapore and Malaysia, studying in each other's countries. And of course, as you saw the video, they will be asking their parents for money. And this is such an easy way to send money to your school, to your children studying in these two countries. And so our two peoples will benefit in tangible, concrete ways from this connection. It will enable seamless, faster, cheaper cross-border remittances on banking rails between our two countries. And this is a significant corridor. In 2022, the size of this corridor was 2.3 billion Singapore dollars. That is the money flows between Singapore and Malaysia. And the user experience from this linkage will be very similar to what Singaporeans experience using PayNow here and what Malaysians experience using Do It Now in Malaysia. So the same interface, same experience, but you're actually now transferring money across borders. And that, I think, is a testament to the work that's being done by our industry partners to making sure that the user experience is seamless, familiar, and comfortable for all users. So you can now initiate payments just using the recipient's mobile number or virtual payment address. And this linkage between Singapore and Malaysia is a first of its kind in the world to feature non-bank financial institution participants on both sides. And this reinforces the mutual desire of Bank Negara Malaysia and the MAS for greater inclusivity in payment service providers so that you can better serve the underbanked and unbanked segments of our populations, where many of these non-bank payment service providers are doing their work. So there are plans, we have plans to include more participants as we look forward to improve access to safe, instant, and low-cost remittances for the every man in the street. And this is yet another milestone in the growing payments connectivity between Singapore and Malaysia. As Governor Rasheed said, it follows the QR payment linkage that we launched in March earlier this year, which enable cross-border payments to merchants by scanning NET's QR or the Do It Now QR codes in Singapore and Malaysia, respectively. And this facilitates seamless payments. I'd like to extend my appreciation, deep appreciation to our colleagues in Bank Negara Malaysia, to Governor Rasheed, your leadership, for making this happen, and to all our industry partners working closely together to make this happen. This is hard work, but it's work that is very well worth it as we build up payment linkages across ASEAN. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, MD. It's really an honor to have MD Ravi and Governor Rasheed here with us today to share these remarks and also officiate the cross-border funds transfer on the Pay Now, Do It Now linkage. May I invite Governor and MD to join me at the center of the stage? And because both Governor and MD will be using the OCBC and the May mobile banking apps, I'd like to invite the next two individuals to join me on stage. From Singapore, we have Mr. Victor Tan from OCBC, and from Maybank Berhad, we have Datuk John Chong. So we will be doing two transfers today. The first transfer, MD Ravi will be initiating that transfer to Governor Rasheed, and this will simulate the Singapore to Malaysia flow of funds, okay? So first up, MD has launched and logged into his OCBC mobile app, and then he navigates to the overseas section under payments and transfers, and he selects Do It Now. And then he will pull up Governor Rasheed's Do It Now registered mobile number. And then he keys in the amount in Malaysian ringgit to send to Governor Rasheed, and he keys in ringgit 19.59. Why 19.59? Well, 1959 was actually the year that Bank Negara Malaysia was established. So a very significant figure for a significant occasion today. Now, MD Ravi will then review the details of his transfer. This includes the amount in SGD that will be debited from his account, giving him full transparency of the transfer's exchange rate. Once he's confirmed that it's all good to go, he confirms the payment. Did you see that swipe down there? I did. Do you saw it, Victor? I did. And you got a thumbs up from MD. So MD, please hold up your phones. The transfer has successfully gone through. Please come forward, MD. We would like to capture this very significant transfer. Okay, to see that, let's see, MD's phone should show the successful sending of funds from Singapore, and Governor Rasheed's phone should show the successful receipt of funds in Malaysia. Ladies and gentlemen, that first round went through swiftly and successfully. Congratulations to MD and to Governor. Okay, now we have to make sure it goes both ways, right? Like any relationship, two ways. So we have to make sure that the funds transfer goes well from the Malaysia to the Singapore side. This time, we will get Governor Rasheed to initiate the funds transfer. He logs into his May app, and then he goes to overseas transfer and selects Do It Now and keys in MD Ravi's Pay Now registered mobile number. And guess what number he keys in this time? What do we all like in Chinese numerology? 8, that's right. So, but this time he doesn't just key in 8 Singapore dollars. Governor Rasheed is going to key in SGD 8.88. Okay, why does he do that? Well, in Chinese numerology, 8 means a lot of prosperity, great prosperity. So 888 means a tripling, signals a tripling of one's wealth. And we do hope that this will also symbolize a really vibrant start to this very important infrastructure project between Singapore and Malaysia. Governor Rasheed will review the details of the payment. Again, he sees the corresponding amount that will be debited from his account in Malaysian ringgit, giving him full transparency of the transfer's exchange rate. And if it's all good to go, Governor Rasheed, you will confirm the transfer. And it has gone through. Let's just make sure. I've got a thumbs up from Governor Rasheed to show that the funds have been successfully sent from Malaysia. And we want to make sure that MD Ravi, have you received the funds in Singapore? And we got it. Yes, that's right. Another round of applause, please, ladies and gentlemen. The successful funds transfer using the Pay Now, Do It Now linkage is live. It was instantaneous. And it is a success. This has been many months and years in the making, and we are so happy that another milestone has been reached. Thank you very much, and congratulations to Governor and MD on the successful transfer of funds in this real-time payment systems linkage. I would now like to invite the relevant officials and authorities from MAS and Bank Negara Malaysia to join MD and Governor Rasheed on stage. MD, please remain on stage. We're going to have a group photo now, please. So may I invite once again the relevant parties and individuals who are part of this momentous occasion to join MD and Governor on stage for a group photo. It's a rare occasion post-pandemic to have everybody in the same place, and we just want to make sure that we capture all individuals who have been involved. It's been a lot of hard work, and this is such a significant occasion for cross-border payments between Malaysia and Singapore. Well, while they organized themselves for the photos, ladies and gentlemen, I would just like to let you know that although MD Ravi did use the OCBC app and Governor Rasheed used the May app, there are actually 7 participating institutions on this linkage, and they are the pilot participants. From Singapore, we have OCBC, UOB, Liquid Group, and Maybank Singapore. And from Malaysia's side, we have TNG Digital, CIMB Bank, and Maybank Berhad. So DBS Bank from Singapore and Hong Leong Bank from Malaysia will be joining us at a later stage. And as MD Ravi has said, this is the first time there's a real-time payment systems linkage featuring non-bank financial institutions. From Singapore's side, it will be Liquid Group, and from Malaysia's side, it is TNG Digital. And that's for us to promote greater inclusivity and user access to this linkage. And it really truly is what fintech is all about. Thank you once again to all the parties involved. Lots of hard work, sweat, blood, and tears, but our Pay Now, Do It Now, real-time payment systems linkage is officially live. Thank you, everyone. And once again, a big round of applause, please, for MD Ravi and Governor Rasheed. Thank you, Governor, for rushing to Singapore to this stage on time to join us for this official launch. Thank you. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we have officially launched, it is a big thing, officially launched the Pay Now, Do It Now real-time payment systems linkage between Singapore and Malaysia. So, of course, we have a number of partners to thank. From Singapore's side, we want to thank the Association of Banks in Singapore, BCS Private Limited, DBS Bank, UOB, OCBC, Maybank Singapore, and Liquid Group. And from Malaysia's side, we want to thank the Payments Network Malaysia, CIMB Bank, Maybank Berhad, Hong Leong Bank, and TNG Digital. So thank you once again to all the partners involved, and congratulations to Malaysia, Indonesia, and Singapore on this historic connection. Thank you. I'll hand the time now to Sharanjit.
Yeah, no, look. There's not enough space on the stairs. Well done. Wow, how amazing was that? Thank you once again to everyone after that historic launch between Singapore, Malaysia, as well as Indonesia. Bagus sekali, I have to say. How wonderful. And I should say the same for the end of the Singapore FinTech Festival, because this is the final day and we have reached the end after hundreds of incredibly insightful sessions, not just here, but on the festival stage and elsewhere. You all have been amazing participants. Thank you for being here. Do not miss next year. You can sign up for early bird specials now, because we can share with you the amazing lineup we're going to have in 2024. But before we go, I'd love to thank the team who have made this all possible for you. Of course, we have Yvonne, who are the non-profit arm of the MAS. They bring this together, all of you together, all the amazing speakers together every year, and they always kill it. So a big thank you to Yvonne, to Constella as well, who've been a key partner in this. Mice Depot, they've been extraordinary, so thank you to them. And of course, we couldn't do this without the support of the Monetary Authority of Singapore. A big thank you to them and ABS for bringing together what has been the biggest Singapore FinTech Festival in history. We had more than 60,000 people here over the last 3 days. How incredible was that? And I will see you all back here next year. Good night.